Can everybody see? Must I make it a bit brighter? Is everybody sharp? Okay, so now when I look at this, the first thing I see, Smith, is Smith on both sides? No. Pronto, yes, there's Pronto, and there's Pronto. Okay, and now I know, if I look, I already gave you here the debtors ledger and the creditors ledger, right? So now I want to see, okay, is this right? 13, 14, oh, I didn't give you Pronto, so I'm not going to do Pronto a T account as a debtors control and as a creditors control. It's just so that I have my signs and sides right. Okay, so if I look here, I know I'm going to immediately write Pronto distributors, Pronto distributors, right? What am I going to say? Transfer. That's all you need to say, transfer. Now let's look. What is the smallest amount? The 250. So I'm going to write 250, 250. Sharp. So already you sharp there. Now I need to see. That 250 is with the debtors. What side? It's on the credit side. So what do I need to do to get that 250 away? I'm going to add. I'm going to go to the opposite side and follow the double entry. So can you see, Pronto, the debtor will be debited, and Pronto, the creditor, will be credited. Full marks. You guys sharp? The only way to get this thing right is to do it again and 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 again. Okay. Next one. I see Bauer. Or you say Bauer. There's no Bauer here. Is there cork? Yes. Here's a cork. And here's a cork. Okay. So now, if I go to cork, again I do the debtor and the creditor. Now, I say here, cork traders, cork traders, cork traders, transfer. You see? And now I look. Which one is the smallest? The 200. So I put in 200, 200. Okay. Now I go look. That 200 is in the creditors. So I'm going to work here. It's on the debit side. So I'm going to put it here. How will I get it away? By going opposite. So I'm going opposite, double entry. So now I can see the debtor is debited and the creditor is credited. You guys start to see how it's not difficult if you follow your steps. Yes, baby. I'm writing transfer as a narration because what am I doing? I'm transferring this balance of his debit list to his creditors account. I'm just transferring the small balance to the big one. Okay. And then I'm left with Daniels. And I see here's Daniels. So I go and I say, okay, Daniels, let's write your name here. Daniels debit, Daniels credit. transfer of balances. What is the smallest amount? 300. So I put the 300. Now I'm going to look. I see, okay, I've got a debtors control and I've got a creditors control. The 300 is in the creditors. So I'm going to put it on the credit side. So I do owe it to him. Okay, how will I get it away? I'm going to minus. I'm going to debit, meaning debtors are going to credit. So I say, okay, so the creditors control is going to be debit and the debtors control is going to be credit. And I total and I see, oh, okay, 450 is debit and credit, 300 is debit and credit. Now I go to the lists, the debtors ledger. So I ask for Cork. So if I look, I see Cork has got a debit balance of 200 in the creditors ledger. Sure. I just went through everything. There we go. So I'm going to do a transfer. How do I do a transfer? What did I do? Did I debit or credit creditors control? Transfer the debit balance of Daniels. Yeah, this is wrong. Because why is it both? Okay, so this is a typing error. So we can decide which one are we going to use. Okay, I would say I will change it like this. And Cork was credit. Cork was then debit. Okay, so if you did it like that, it would literally just be exactly the same. Let's do Cork, Cork. So it's going to be Cork, Cork. And Cork has got 200, 200. I'm going to take a highlighter and I'm going to show you. So what's going to happen now is Cork. Let me do it like this. Oh, Cork is pink, sorry. Cork is pink. Now it's all recorded that you can hear that I'm like running around here. So Cork is pink. Okay. So let's look if Cork had a debit balance oh, we did it like that. So I see here this one is right. So Cork wasn't the problem. It's only Daniels. So Daniels is the problem. So let's go look at Daniels and what's happening here. Weird. Why is he doing that? Okay, I'm going to quickly go out. Okay, there we go. So now, when I do it this way, and it's this one, right? They say debtor and creditor, and now they say transfer the credit balance of Daniels. So they say that, but it is right, sweetie. Why are you confused? Because they say, oh, they said the debit balance. Okay, so they say it's the debit balance. So there's a debit balance of 300, right? So now it means I'm going to credit and debit. So my debtors control will then be debit And my creditors control will be credit. That's how yours would be. I think most of you didn't read this. And you just went according to this. So then the first way I did it was right. Okay. I will change, just change it in your books that this is credit. Okay, that is right. Just change in your books that this is credit, like it says there, credit. It's not debit. Okay, otherwise we keep doing the same thing. Okay. So in a test, if this happens in a test, right, I have to set up my memo for both. Okay? If, however, the question paper and the answer book is different, then you follow the question paper. But in this case, the question paper had two options. So I need to adjust my memo. So I have to mark both. Yeah. Okay, so everybody sharp. Can I go on? So I'm going to go on as if it's like this, but you'll know now that yours is going to be different. Is there anybody else that read this transactions? Well done. Well done. It says a lot. It says a lot. Okay, so now when I transfer this, I remember I credited the creditors and I debited the debtors, right? And as a debtor, Cork had a balance of 7.2, so now he owes me 7.4, which makes sense because I overpaid him. So he needs to give me that 200 Rand back, and he owes me 7.2 from the transactions he made. Okay, so let's look at Daniel's. Daniel's has got a debit balance of 1,006 and it's got a credit balance of 300. So then if I do a transfer, I work with the small one, so I'm going to minus to get 0, meaning here I'm also going to minus. Remember what I said, the signs will always be the same for both. Will always be minus, minus, or plus, plus. Always. It's always minus, minus, or plus, plus. They never mix the two. Is everybody sharp?